And now we're going to look at so-called Carlsbad variation, which is characterized by the pawn structure formed after exchange on d5. C takes d5, e takes d5, and white normally goes bishop g5. It seems a little bit illogical after what all we discussed, that black's main problem in the queen's gambit decline is bishop c8, that white is voluntarily taking on d5, reducing tension in the center and opening this diagonal for bishop, which could go on e6, f5, or even g4. But on the other hand, white has a long-term strategic plan based on the fact that after black plays c6, which is quite inevitable because it has to protect pawn on d5 and also prepare the comfortable development of bishop, which is otherwise could be met by queen goes on b3. If bishop goes too early, let's say now bishop goes on a5, then of course after queen b3, it's all, structure could be jeopardized. So after c6, white in theory could start preparing so-called minority pawns attack, where white could start pushing b4, b5, if necessary. After a6 they could play a4 and then b5, and exchanging pawns on the queen side and creating the weakness. Either pawn on c6, or if black exchange on b5, there will be isolated pawn on d5 and potential weaknesses on a7 and b7. It's all good in theory, and of course black could have their own chances of trying to occupy e4 square and potentially creating some chances on the king side. But generally speaking, white's position in the center is more solid, and it gives it an edge. Not necessarily long-term initiative, but possibilities for varying the plans, using its slight domination in the center. A part of the traditional plan that I've described, which could be shown by the moves bishop e7, say e3, castle, bishop d3, knight bd7, knight f3, c6, queen c2, rook e8, which is one of the key positions, castle, knight f8, and now say rook b1, preparing b4 and advance on the queen side.